welcome back. I'm glad y'all can join me again on this segment of In the Living Room. Today, I got my homegirl, Kiera Steele. I call her Key or Ki, but y'all can call her Kiera. And today, we're going to talk about relationships, situationships, and bullshit. Yeah. Now, I wanted to bring my homegirl here because she has a very interesting life story up until this point. She's very knowledgeable. She's 28 years old. Has a lot of life experiences that she can share with the people. A lot of relationship experience that she can share as well. She's also experienced her level of bullshit and situationships as well. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like who else or who best to have, on this particular segment and to talk to my own homegirl, because like a lot of the conversations that we have, I'm always like, dang, you know what? These are things that, we should share with the world and that you can share with the world, because she definitely got some jewels that she can drop and that she will drop. So before I, go ahead and turn it over to her, I just want to let her know, and let the world know that she's someone that I admire. She's an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? She's a mother. She's a homeowner. She takes care of her children. She does what she has to do, you know what I'm saying, in life to make sure that she's getting it done. So we know that life's a journey, and I'm glad that I can have her to call her as my friend. I'm going to say that's enough raving about you. Is there anything I missed? She do music too, y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? She can sing, and she write, and she dope with that too.
Thank you.
All right. For sure. So, look, we're going to jump right in it. We see on social media a lot, and, you scrolling and you see, and people are always saying, like, there's pee in the dating pool, or there's definitely other stuff in the dating pool. And I guess I want to get your take on the dating pool, relationships. We're not going to even talk about situationships just yet, but just the dating pool and relationships. I mean, what do you see? What do you think that's wrong or that's going on out here?
I feel like it's a few different things. Like first things, like I feel like I keep running into guys that are unsure of themselves, like that they don't love themselves, and I don't really feel like it's just guys. Like I feel like girls too, like we don't love ourselves. I feel like from a young age, we just kind of like we've been traumatized to think that like love is the thing to have. It's like the above all everything. And so how we was talking, and we were talking about like how like social media can really cause like anxiety, like within a situation. I feel like a lot of us are looking for once in a lifetime sparks in everybody, when you don't connect with just everybody. And so like you gotta be able to depict the difference between like something serious and something temporary. So as far as what I've been seeing, it's just been a lot of broken people that ain't never really been by themselves.
You know what? That's good. I mean, because when I look at it as well, I would agree with you on broken people or people that don't love themselves. We're dealing with a world full of people that don't love themselves. We think we do. We've been conditioned to do things or buy things to say that, hey, this is how you love yourself. Mm-hmm. But we don't know the ultimate way to love ourselves. I mean, we don't.
A lot of people don't even know what they like.
Yeah,
like they
that's
like
true.
what the world has
what
told
the world
them.
conditioned them to like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both men and women.
But really, that's just culture. Like anybody that know what culture is, like that's all that culture is. Like you live in an area to where like people go by these set of rules of life.
So then, what sets some of us or those of us aside that don't always play by those rules? Then, because you do have some. Because like me, I mean, I've been a misguided young man once in my life, but then as I grew older and mature, I understand to set myself aside. So it's like I don't have to do everything that they're doing or everybody else is doing, or I don't have to date that way or try to love that way or whatever. I understand love and relationships You know what I'm saying? So like what do you say for those of us or those people that set themselves aside? Because everybody, like, how do you do that? I guess I'll say, how do you do that? How can somebody do that?
I guess it's hard to say like how somebody could actually do it per se, because I feel like everybody is on their own level in life. And so like everybody has their own perception, of things, and I feel like life is just all about lessons, and once you learn them lessons, like, you graduate to the next level. But if you somebody that like has no understanding of, like what it should be or like what it shouldn't, and like you like just the type to just keep bumping your head or feel like you can make something better like out of a bad situation, then like you never learn your lesson. And that's why you meet older people that hasn't advanced to the next level, and then you meet younger people who have,
Yeah.
or like it's just like, like it could be the opposite way, or like the other way. Like, of course, like younger people, they just have the lack of life experience, and then it's
True.
just like some younger people that done been through so much stuff to where like they done got their life experience and what would have took somebody 40 years to get,
Yeah.
and so it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just all about like how you perceive the things that you go through. Like, we all go through things, but I think the people who actually elevate are the people who can actually learn from their lessons and ask like, why is this, instead of like, why is this happening to me, like, why is it happening for me? Because sometimes bad things can happen, but like it be for a good reason, like
So,
ultimately in the end.
I mean, no, I feel you on that. I guess my question would be, do you think that there is a blueprint on how to love, on how a man should love a woman, and vice versa, a woman should love a man? And do you also believe that there is a blueprint, or is there something, ways that we can teach how to date correctly and effectively, so that way, people are not caught up into, situationships or even bullshit, or being, led on and things like that?
Mm, so the question is, repeat
The,
that.
the overall question would be, um, do you think that there's a blueprint? I guess it's a three-part question. Do you think there's a blueprint on how to love,
Is it a
for both
blueprint
men
on
and
how?
women, or and is there, should there be rules to on dating so that we can date effectively?
I feel like everything boils down to communication, like being open, like being communicative to where you can actually say what you like. And that's why I said like from the gate, a lot of things go into self love, because like I can say like, oh, communicate, but if you don't actually love yourself and actually know what you like to communicate for yourself, like you gonna be running around in circles. And so I guess the blueprint is loving yourself first, so that you can actually know what to, like, what's your love language, to tell somebody like how to love you. We all got our own love languages, so of course everybody blueprint look a little different, to the individual case. But I don't know, I feel like first things first, like you gotta learn to love yourself, and then the second thing is like communication. Because the thing is, like, we sign up for things that we really don't even want, because it's a couple of things about a person that we like.
That's true. That's true. So it's like, I mean, hey man, look at her. Oh, she got this or that, or she might have looked good on this night, or smile was look a little bright. You know what I'm saying? And then you get her and you get to dealing with her, and you realize, well, most men know they never really wanted a woman from the jump. It's kind of like on the fly. Like, if I get you and you're not fine, figure out if I like you a little bit, then I might want to keep you around. You know what I'm saying? Or like, if I don't like you like that,
But
then
it be
like,
the little thing to where it's just like, I want you around a little bit, but not a lot. But that's why I say, like, once we get to know ourselves, the dating pool and the things that we looking at, like, it gets shorter anyway. Like, versus you just being a person like out here giving everybody a chance. Like you
because
can know,
you're
like
trying to. I want to see what I want to see what I like.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you can. Don't get me wrong. Like with every situation that I done had, you feel me? Like I done said before. Like every situation I done had done showed me something that I did like and what I didn't like about somebody. And you know, like once you get over that pain and stuff, it's just like you kind of like take your lesson and you move on. And so if you date in that way to where like you know like you just kind of like learning lessons or you know just kind of like dipping your toe in the water a little bit, it's just like yeah, sometimes like you do get caught up on it a little bit, but when you step back in your next situation, it's gonna be a little bit more healthy. You know, like it's gonna last a little bit more longer because it's like open communication. Like in the beginning, when I first started learning how to date, I was fighting. I was doing all type of stuff, like for real. And it's just like it was a love that like at the time when I didn't know anything, I thought love was just like being rowdy and you feel me, like, oh, that's my man, and you know, like different things like that. And it's like when I went through like a couple different relationships, and it's just like, all right, I had one person leave me for fighting, like for fighting on them, and then so it's just like I really liked him, and so it's just like, all right, I ain't gonna fight, like, you know, like I ain't fighting anymore, like I'm not doing that. And so it's like I learned my different lessons, you know, like from the different people that I was with. And like with my like with one of my last situations, it was just like I learned the art of patience, like the art of like really taking your time and you know like standing up for yourself and like standing up for your boundaries and like not letting somebody like impose on your life. And that's what I was saying, but for the most part, it came back into how I love myself. Like, I stand up for the people around me. Like, if somebody do something for my, like to my sister or something, like I'd be ready to, you know, like jump down their back. But I done studied her. Like, I know her. Like, I know what she need. I know what she want. Like, I know what she like. But I hadn't spent enough time by myself to like be overprotective of like what I was, you know. And so it's just like, I don't think it's a blueprint, but I think it's a key to like knowing yourself, to be able to like protect yourself and like be able to set boundaries and stand up for yourself, to really know what you do and what you don't like. And that'll be a way that we can really avoid certain things when it comes to dating. Because when you on your level, you gonna really make people uncomfortable that ain't, you know?
That's true. So I guess I'll pivot with this. What role do you believe, well, not what role, do you believe men have a bigger role as well as bigger responsibility when it comes to dating and relationships? Or do you think it's equal? And you can be honest. I mean, this is not, you know, we not beating up man or beating down on man, but we have to be honest and, you know, be
like
real.
Something about personally what I know in life.
No, yeah, we talk. Listen, personally, because you know the world is gonna take it as an opinion anyway. You know, but my question to you is that do you feel that men have a greater, you know, bigger role and or responsibility than a woman when it comes to relationships and dating, or do you feel that it's equal?
No, I feel like men expect more from women than what women really expect from men.
But not, so wait a minute. Not the expectation, what about their role? So for example, if I'm out here dating or I want to be in a relationship with you, is my role greater and my responsibility in the relationship or while dating you, is it greater than yours? Like, do I have a greater role than you as far as showing you the way or leading you or setting the tone for what we're doing here? Because the reason I ask that is because a lot of times we have women, or I see these on social media, you know, we would submit if, you know, a man was, if we had something to submit to, or, you know, a woman, if a man don't know his way, then how can he show a woman the way? You know, and I see this stuff and I see these memes, But I still see a lot of women getting in relationships that they know they shouldn't be in, or situationships that they know they shouldn't be in, having children with people that they know they shouldn't have children with. I mean, so like that's what I'm saying. Like, but we see this, but we still see the consistent behavior. So that's what I'm saying. Who's to blame? Do we blame the women, or do we blame the man, or are we saying that the man role is greater than the woman? Because here's what I'm gonna say, and then I'll let you say whether you agree or not. I believe that the man sets the tone for the relationship. I believe that the man sets the tone in dating. I believe that when the man comes in and he says, "Hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what I'm trying to do with you, or what we doing, or whatever that Now it could be on some relationship. It can be on some situationship. It could be on some bullshit. It's up to her whether she agree or not. But I believe that if the man sets it out, you know what I'm saying, now he's giving that woman a choice. But see, we don't have men that do that. So we don't have men that are actually standing up and really setting the tone. You see what I'm saying? And whatever that tone is going to be. So we're not having man actually step forward and say, "Hey, look, listen. This is what it is. This is what it's going to be with us. This is where I want to head with you. This is where I want to go," and really be honest and do that. So, hey, look, I see you as somebody that could possibly, potentially be a wife. I want to get to know you. I want to date you. I want to see where that goes. And really do that. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, look, you know what? I've been looking at you. You know what I'm saying? I think you kind of fly. I think you sexy. I've been lusting, to be honest. I want to get down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
Or it's like, you know what, man, I don't know what it is about you. I don't know if I want to just do the one thing, or, you know what I'm saying, try to be with you or whatever, but it's something about you. Like, I want a connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really say that, so we don't set the tone for women. We're not giving them an upfront choice and option and being honest and carrying it out. It's like, I feel that that's why dating is jacked up as well as relationships, because a lot of relationships, women have been broken, like what you talked about. People are broken. Men are broken as well, but women have been broken. Men are broken, and we start, having intimate relationship, and then we try to turn that into a relationship. So now it's like, I don't know you really aside of how you make my body feel. You know what I'm saying? And I blame that on the man. Because if the man knows what he wants, and he has an idea and a sense of direction of where he wants to go with this, then we're not just having sex without, I don't want to say a destination, but without a purpose of more so than just, feeling good. If we have an understanding, or if that's just what it is, then that's just what it is. But I've put that out there as a man, and we understand that it goes no further than that. So you see what I'm saying now? Like, I believe that the man has a bigger role and responsibility when it comes to relationships and dating as well.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with all of that. And I also just want to add, like, no matter who you run into, like, if a woman, like, don't want to be a woman to you, like, you're never going to have a woman in her,
Yeah.
And if a man doesn't want to be a man to you, like, you just not going to have a man in them. And so it's like, men, like, I feel like they do set the tone in relationships, but a lot of times, like, especially like when you dealing, like, if everything, like, is stemming from, like, the way that people are and, like, the way that people dating, and, like, we taking everything into consideration, like, as far as, like, social media and as far as, like, different things like that, a lot of people, they shy away from the people that's actually ready. And so they shy away from the people that's actually ready because, like, it actually take, like, real work to, like, deal with them. And so, like, what I have seen, like, I haven't ran across, like, a lot of guys that are, like, I don't want to say, like, intelligent enough to lead, but they
I mean, if that's your experience,
But it's just like a lot of people think that, like a lot of men think that leading is like just ruling with an iron fist, and it's like.
So then, see that. So, not to cut you off, I want to interject. When you say that as a man, see, not the rule with the iron fist, but when you say not intelligent enough to lead, I would say that we haven't actually gotten the right tools. Because I can't shy away from the tools that I have gotten to be a man and set the standards of a man for me. It does come from the standard of God. It does come by way of the word of God. Mm-hmm. A lot of men, people in general, but a lot of men don't have that main tool of leadership, of structure of life, period. So we're out of order, you know what I'm saying? So every man that you meet has his way that he feel like this is how, I'm a man, how I'm doing it.
And I definitely can say, like, people with a, like, background in religion, like, it's just different. Like, everything is just different. Like, the respect level is different. Like, their values is different. Like, going, like, home to the family is different. It's just, like, everything is different because it's just, like, he knows that he, like, really got a higher power to, you feel me, like, check into.
Yeah.
Like when he ain't doing right, you know?
Yeah.
And it definitely build a character. So I can definitely see what you mean by that.
And you know what you said, and it's not like that people that have that are perfect. They're not. And I think this is what the world likes to say, oh, they fake, them fake people. Because human emotions are universal.
They know they can only go so far.
Yeah.
Before it's just like, hold on, I might be doing a little too
much.
You know?
Yeah.
Versus like somebody that doesn't like have that background.
They're going to go all the way. They're going to go all the way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no means to an end because there's no conscience or no structure there. There's no moral compass. This is all I know. So it's really, to be honest, when we're living outside of that or outside of those standards, we're living really a savage life. Mm-hmm. For real. Men and women. And that's why you see it out here to where that's really why the dating pool and the relationship pool is jacked up, because we don't have people that have the standard of what a real man is. If we get the standard of what a real man is, then a man teaches a woman what she is. Not how to be a woman, but what a woman is. And when you teach a woman what she is, she automatically becomes that woman. You see what I'm saying? She's womaning, I guess what you say, because that's what's inside of her. A man is not teaching this is what you're supposed to do for a woman. No, because even women that don't know, I'm going to say this, even women that don't know, they have the natural instincts of being a woman inside them. They do the woman things. And those are the same things for a man, but we need that structure, and that structure does come, I believe, spiritually from God through the man to the woman. And when the man isn't absent, yes, because individually God deals with us all, the woman definitely is, she has that direct connection to God herself as well.
Yeah, because I feel like if you feed into a woman like correctly, like you really don't have no choice but to, like excel.
Yeah, reap the benefits,
like,
yeah.
And it's just like, like that's why it's like the ultimate blessing, to like really find something.
He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. And listen, I watched the interview where Charlemagne the God was saying, shout out to you, Charlemagne the God, was saying that when he got everything back, in line and right, and got everything in order, and he was not cheating on his wife anymore and doing everything together, he said he just, excelled. He said he prospered in every aspect of his life and stuff like that. And I see, and that's what I'm saying. Men that don't understand those particular tools, they don't know that there's a gift in you. Mm-hmm. There's a blessing and favor in finding you.
And so that's what I was saying by like when men, like when they set the tone and they want to be a dictatorship versus being a partner.
Yeah.
And it's like you kind of like take, like from the situation, because if you run into somebody like me, that can really like match your other portion, like you just gonna miss out because like I don't want to dumb myself down.
Right.
Like I done did that before. You know, like I done did that, and when we was done and over with, I didn't even know who I was. I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with like how I didn't elevate, how I didn't do nothing because like I tried to dumb myself down and stand behind you.
Yeah.
You know, so that you can shine more like as a dude. And so like that's why like now I'm very picky. Like I don't date men like that don't got their own stuff.
Yeah.
Period. I don't date men that like has no direction. You feel me? Like in their life, I can know that. You feel me? Like off the first things, and I'm not talking about like just material things. Like I'm talking about like really like knowledge upstairs. Like it's a difference between like somebody like going through, you know, like a point in their life, and like this being somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know. And so what I've realized, like, and what I know, like, you know, about men, and like I feel like that's why it's really important, like how you say like men do set the tone, but I feel like it goes all the way back to when when he is a little boy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When he is a little boy and he taught, you know, like certain structure, because the thing is like how I said we spend a lot of time like when we're teenagers and like even when we coming up like trying to be in love, trying to like on somebody, trying to, you feel me, like spend a lot of our time listening to this music and like trying to, you feel me, like be that and relive that. And like now we got social media, so like we seeing it even younger.
It's right there.
You know?
Boom, right down your hand.
Like we seeing it even like younger, but it's just like none of it is like actually what it is. Like I'm trying to see exactly what I'm trying to say, because like
it's a facade.
But the thing is, like, if we teach like young boys, you feel me, like from the gate, that you feel me, like this is what, you feel me, like this is what it's like, this is what it's about, versus like now little boys is taught like to not be a simp and to not, you feel me, like all of that. And so like it's getting like younger and younger, and then we got things like the city girls and, you know, different things like that, to where it's just like,
so the influences that's out there for our children, which are the future, you're saying they are scary, basically. Yeah. That's what it sounds like I'm hearing that you're trying to say, because it sounds like that you're saying we have to figure out a way to teach young boys how to really grow and to be men, as opposed to being street guys or street niggas or gangsters or I'm hard, because, you know, and that's what I'm saying. And that's, so now they're growing up with this, and they're not treating a woman, let alone a woman, with themselves first and foremost. But then, because, you know, men and women are gonna
that take away a lot of frustration. Like when a young boy is tooled into knowing himself and like knowing the power of a man, and like knowing, you know, like exactly like his position and his place, like that will really like change the game, you feel me, like like for a lot of things. Because first and foremost, like how I was saying before, like this is what I meant by like me not dating men that, you know, like really don't have it figured out, or like an idea of what they want to do.
And that's good that you have a standard as well. Keep going.
Men are very frustrated, you know, like when they not where they want to be in life. And for real, more than likely, when you are in love with a man that is not where he wants to be, and y'all together, you're gonna get the backhand of that frustration. Like you gonna see the real and what everybody else don't see. And like even if he go out in the world and like, you know, he happy, like behind closed doors, like you're gonna get the absolute worst of him. And then when he get on his feet and he want to elevate his energy and change, he's
the best of him to the world.
He's gonna give the best of him, you know, like to everybody else. And so that's why it's so important for young girls to focus on themselves first and foremost, and for young guys to get to know themselves and to love themselves, and, you know, to really just try to focus on building up what they actually want. Like, okay, it's only natural that teenagers and all of that, like they really go into relationships, and, you know, like they like each other, and, you know, it's all of that stuff going on. But you gotta teach them, you know, like the right way about like not being in control, you know, not trying to control other people,
Yeah.
because like a lot of like our traumas in our relationships, like how we talked about before, come from really trying to control people.
Yeah.
And so when we younger, we think like, oh, that's my boyfriend, like nobody else can talk to them. That's my girlfriend, nobody else can talk to them. Like, nah, teach your kids that anybody can do whatever they want to, and they're not in control. And what's you gonna see a domino effect in how people react to the way that people treat them, because you really know deep down, like, I don't deserve this, and I can get the fuck on. You know, like, excuse my language, but you know, like, I don't deserve this. I can move around and, you know, like, not go really necessarily find somebody else, but I can go love myself instead. Like, if, you know, like, if I'm not welcome here, like, I can go love myself instead. And that's what you always gotta teach them, you know, to stay within, like, this spectrum. And it goes into, like, how we date, like, because we teach our kids, like, love languages and stuff. And it's this Lil Wayne video called How to Love.
Oh, okay, I mean.
And, like, if you watch the video, he just basically, like, going through, like, the love cycles of, like, how her mom was, you know, like, kicking it with the dope boy, and then she had the baby, and you know, and then like when the baby got older, like she really didn't have no father figure, so she ended up in a strip club, like she done got AIDS, she done had, like, you know, and it's just like you repeat this cycle. And like it was like a scene to where like her mom was like fighting and arguing on the phone, like when she was a baby, and when she got older, like she was arguing on the phone, you know, like, and it's just cycles. Like, and it's like when you young and you seeing like your mom like being raunchy, you know, chasing after dudes and different stuff, you like, I can't wait till I get older.
Yeah, those are things.
And be raunchy, because I think this is what those love are things
is, that are being
know?
imparted into you without even knowing, huh?
And so it's just like, you know, like even though like I didn't see my mom necessarily, you feel me, like being raunchy, or you feel me, like doing different things like that. It was just like still like one thing my mom, I can say, like she inflicted on me was like her music. Like I was around this thing, like I was a lover in your side.
That's funny. That's funny. You started singing. I was gonna say Mary J. Blige. I was gonna. That was gonna be the first name I threw out, and you started singing Mary J. So,
in my room, you feel me, lip singing and stuff. And I couldn't wait to get older and be emotional. You know?
I know what you're saying. Be able to like relate to this stuff. Yeah,
like and to feel these feelings. You feel me, like of this music that's like in the house all day, and it's that's like something. I couldn't wait to. And so it's just like we gotta be very cautious of like what we, you know, show our kids. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't had anybody complain, you know, like about my love and like, you know, like how emotional I am, because, you know, shoot. But at the same time, like I do feel like me wanting to be in love and to feel those feelings like at a young age, like it set me back a lot, because instead like I was doing other things, you know.
Yeah. And
I just was grateful that I was able to get in trouble and like really bounce back from a lot of the things that I was doing, you know.
I feel
like at that age. And like even though, you know, like I had my kids young, and you know, like things is still, you know, worked out the way that I guess, you know, like God would have wanted it to, but it's like I wish I would have did other things instead.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like I would have probably been in the Olympics, you feel me, somewhere, but it's like I wish I would have did other things. But I feel like those are the main things that like I'm gonna instill into my kids, like as far as being a follower, and as far as, you know, like just loving themselves first. Because it's like you grow into like being a broken adult, and the reason why like you can't really fall in love with anybody, and love it don't feel the same, is because when you was a kid you kind of did know yourself, you know. You was doing the things that you love, that you like, unapologetically. You feel me? And so it's just like you like this boy because he the fastest boy in the school, and you feel me, like it's just like different things like that. But then we become adults and we do what the world says that, you feel me, like that we like. And that's why the happiest people is the ones who still keep their hobbies and you know, different things like that, and they still keep a little bit of themselves. Versus like when we get in, like fall in love, like we forget like what we is. Like I was in a relationship one time, like how we talked about me writing and stuff, and I didn't write the whole time. Like I just couldn't catch the vibe. Like I was trying to be with somebody that wasn't that didn't fit into my life, you know, like a puzzle piece. And I just felt like I was conditioned like to not really give up, or you know, that's not what a writer is, or you feel me, different things like that, or you just try to work things out with people. But
Well, so I'm gonna say, because I like that, you know what I'm saying, and you know, overall, I hear you, and I hear what you're saying, and there's a lot of jewels in there. There's a lot of nuggets. There's a lot of gems, and I believe that just even starting the conversation, you know, we can get people engaged out there, because we don't want this to just be another segment to where we're just talking, because this is only part one. We got different segments coming up, but we want to look for solutions. We want people to be able to date healthy. We want people to be able to establish healthy relationships. So we want to talk about the real things and the reality of what goes on, you know what I'm saying, within that particular realm. No, this is not another dating show or anything like that. This is me and my homegirl having a conversation about relationships, situationships, and bullshit. And this was part one. So y'all stay tuned for part two, because we're going to definitely keep it coming, and we're going to drop it on y'all just like that. I am Eli the Voice, my girl K.I., and we'll holler at you.